Thanks for joining me today for beginner Ashtanga. Um, some of the things you might want to have is a block, press a strap, and maybe a rolled up blanket or a smaller block to lift the hips and tilt the pelvis for some of the forward folds. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and just find a comfortable seated position to begin in. I'm Melanie. I think I forgot to tell you. All right. Just take a moment and feel your connection to the ground beneath you. Follow the gentle rhythm of your breath. Just trying to let go of all the activities of the day and welcome these moments of stillness. Visualizing the spine from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. Creating softness in the face, through the jaw. But most importantly, softness in the mind. Begin to find the gentle ujjayi breath and try to let the mind follow the rhythm and the sound of that gentle breath. Giving the mind a place of focus. Breathing in, breathing out. And then just slowly open the eyes, lift the gaze, stretch your legs out, bounce them out, and bring yourself up to the very front of your mat into Samasthiti or mountain pose. Remembering that Ashtanga is a strong practice, even though this is the beginner class, it is quite strong. So honor what's going on with you and your body. Remember, I'm one person giving cues. Your responsibility is to listen to yourself and your needs. All right, so all the standing postures, the foundation is the feet. So set your foundation. Take a moment, bring the hands into Anjali Mudra, palm to palm at heart center. And begin once more to find the Ujjayi breath. Your gaze or your drishti is straight ahead down the tip of the nose. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, lift the arms to what's comfortable for you. Exhale, fold forward. If you can't put your hands flat on the floor, place your hands on the thighs or on your shins, or even blocks. And then inhale, come partway up to a long spine. Exhale, place your hands on the ground and step back to plank. Place your knees on the ground, bend your elbows, and lower through your chaturanga. Place the tops of the feet on the floor and lift to upward dog, being your back bend. So you want to open the front body. Your thighs can be down, or you can press into the tops of the feet and lift the thighs up. Knees come down, toes tuck, hips move up and back to downward dog. Will you take a few breaths? Traditionally, the postures are held for 5 breaths, but what you'll find in these beginner type classes is it ranges. It could be 5 breaths, it could be longer. You might want to walk it out. If your back and hamstrings are bothering you, move your feet farther apart. Let the knees bend. But get that action of sending the hips up and back. On your next inhalation, bring your feet back between your hands, and you do end up in this half fold. Exhale and fully fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And if it's better for you to walk your hands up your legs, then that's what you should do. Exhale, lower the arms. We'll repeat that a couple more times. Inhale, lift the arms and lift the gaze. Exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the hips, and roll the gaze forward without cranking your neck. Exhale, place the hands on the floor, step back to plank, try not to drop your head. Put the knees on the ground and lower through. Tops of the feet on the floor, upward dog, torso moves forward, creating a nice arc in the spine. Chest lifts, shoulder blades knife slightly. Exhale, rolling back to downward dog. Those hips move up and back. Thinking about a gentle Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. The gaze is towards the wall behind you or towards your navel. The shoulders are broadening, opening, creating shoulder stability for the postures to come. The mind follows the wave of the breath, and the practice becomes like a moving meditation, hopefully. Inhale, bring your gaze and your feet back to your hands to that half fold. Exhale, fully fold. Inhale, come up, shoulders are soft. Exhale, samastiti. Last time. Inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, step back to plank. Try not to hang the head. If you're able to do chaturanga with the knees off the floor, by all means. Inhale, upward dog. Keep in mind it is a back bend, not a push-up. Exhale, downward dog. Hopefully by now you're getting a sense of how your body's feeling today. Try to honor that as best you can. Work this practice from the inside out. Try to let go of the attachments to what it should look like and go into what does it actually feel like. At any point, if you need to come out of downward dog, go onto your knees, send your hips back to child's pose. On your next inhalation, bring your feet to your hands in that half fold. Exhale, fully fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, samastiti. Surya Namaskara B, the knees bend, the arms go up to what's comfortable or keep them on the hips. If your back or hamstrings are bothering you, move the knees and feet farther apart. Exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale, lift the hips, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back through plank, knees can be down, lowering into chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, roll back, downward dog. Now the left foot pivots slightly to the left, the whole foot stays on the floor. The right foot moves forward between the hands, knee above heel, hips are pointing forward. Arms lift up unless the shoulders hurt, keep them on the hips. It's front hip back, back thigh forward. Exhale as you come down, that back left knee can come to the floor, then the right knee and lower through chaturanga. Lift to upward dog, inhale, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward dog. Same thing other side, right foot pivots, left foot comes forward. Coming up, front hip back, back thigh forward, shoulders down, breathing. Weight is even on both feet. Exhaling as you come back down, the right knee can go down. Try not to hang the heads, it's about building strength. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward dog. Long, full breaths. Every practice is different. Each time we come to the mat, our body is a different form. So try to honor that. Let go of those attachments to what it was last time and be grateful for what it is this time. The practice is meant to be healing, and it's a strong practice, so it's easy to hurt yourself if you're not mindful. Inhale, bring your gaze and your feet to your hands to that half fold. Exhale, fully fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, samastiti. Again, knees bend, inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, partially up. Exhale, step back through plank, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot pivots, right foot comes forward. And if you need to stand up and bring yourself to warrior, I encourage you to do it that way. An exhalation brings you back down. Keep the strength in the neck. Try not to hang the head. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Open that chest. Exhale, downward dog. Right foot pivots, left comes forward. Coming all the way up, front hip back, back thigh forward. Coming all the way back down through chaturanga, breathing. Upward dog, strong legs, a little bit of action in the glutes. Exhale, downward dog. Remember, you can stop in child's pose at any point, but the breath is the most important part of the practice, so try to keep the breath flowing. Your breath tells you your story. Try to listen to what is your story today. Inhale, gaze and feet to hands. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, samastiti. Last time. Knees bend, inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back to chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot pivots, right comes forward. Breathing in as you come up. Breathing out as you come back down the way that benefits you. Remember, it's about healing the body. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Right foot pivots, left comes forward. Breathing in, unclenching the toes, unclenching the teeth. Breathing out, keeping that neck strong. All the way through chaturanga. Upward dog, not locking the arms. Exhale, downward dog. Long, full breaths. Remember, if something's causing you pain, perhaps you should be checking in and asking yourself why you keep doing it. And try to find ease in the body. When we have ease, we have our greatest strength. Long, full breaths. Inhale, bring the gaze and the feet back to the hands. Exhale, fully fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, samastiti. Padangusthasana, move your feet about hip width apart. Bend the knees, press the elbows on the thighs. Now, if this is enough, don't go any farther than that. Otherwise, pointer and middle fingers go under the big toes so your palms face each other. Thumbs touch those fingertips. Elbows bend out to the sides. Knees drop towards the armpits. You can stay there or drop your head and then begin to straighten your legs to what is straight for you. Now, as you begin to straighten your legs, if you find there's a lot of pain, adjust your feet, perhaps a bit farther apart. Try to keep the weight even on the feet, big toe mound, little toe mound, center of the heel. Now, straighten the arms, lift the gaze, bend the knees. Padahastasana, you can repeat what you just did or keep your elbows on the thighs, or the hands slide under the feet so the fingertips point to the heels. Again, the elbows bend, bringing the knees towards the armpits. Stay there or hang the head and lift the hips. The elbows are bent, the weight's even on the feet, and explore the pressure from the soles of the feet to the palms. There's lots of nerve endings in both the hands and the feet. Use your breathing. Eyes are open throughout the entire practice. Now, bend the knees, straighten the arms, take the torso parallel to the floor, place your hands on your hips, and bring yourself all the way back up to standing, stepping into samastiti. This is your reset position. Check in, see how you're feeling. Utthita Trikonasana, step out wide to the right, turn the right foot out, extend the arms, and extend over that right leg. Now, this is where you may need a block, placing the right hand on the block, the left hand on the low back. If the shoulder doesn't hurt, the arm can go up. The block can go on the outside of the foot as well. We're trying to lengthen the top and bottom half of the body equally. The eyes are open, gaze being up, straight ahead, or down to that right big toe. This block can also go on the outside of the foot if that gives you more rotation. Just watch your right legs, don't lock them. Now inhale, bring yourself all the way up. And the beauty of Ashtanga is we do one side and then we do the other side. So left foot out, right foot is either at 90 or at a slight angle. Torso tips over, unlock the left leg, and you decide what is beneficial for your arm, up or in the low back. You want strength in the neck, so don't let that head hang. Keep the neck in line with the rest of the spine. Use your breathing. And the beauty of these blocks is they can go higher or lower. Try not to have the whole weight of the body on that block. Reach, open up the upper back. Connect top and bottom half right here at the core. Inhale, bring yourself back up Now, Parivrtta means rotate, so we're rotating right foot forward, left foot at a slight angle, hips pointing straight ahead. Bend halfway forward, draw the right hip back. You can put the block at the outside of the right foot and bring your left hand to the block. Your right hand can rest in the low back, the sacrum. It can extend out to the side palm facing the floor from the shoulder, or the fingertips can point up to the ceiling. It's about your foundation being your feet and the hips. Where is there stability? Keep your breath, keep the eyes open. Take one more breath in and one more breath out. As you inhale, if you're using the block, pick it up and come to the other side. So the left foot is forward, the right foot slightly in, hips point straight ahead. So to get the hips pointing straight ahead, pick your foundation, your feet up, and adjust that. Then come halfway forward. A tiny micro bend in that left knee can help to send the hips up and back as you bring right hand over to the left. Visualize a straight spine. So think of a straight spine from the base all the way up through the crown of the head. The eyes are open, gaze to the side, up or down. What's best for you? Again, where should you have that left arm? Take one more breath in and one more breath out. Inhale, bring yourself all the way back to the front of your mat into Samastiti. As you inhale, again, step out wide to the right. You may want the block again. The right foot points straight ahead. The right knee bends, the knee is above the heel. Your hips are as even as you can get them. The back foot is either at 90 or turned slightly in. The groin drops, pelvic floor lifts, and you place that elbow, the right one, on the right knee. You can place the hand on the block, or you can even place the hand on the floor. The left arm can stay on the hip, or the elbow can come by the ear. The torso rotates around the spine. Now, if the right arm is on the inside of the leg, press the arm into the leg and create some resistance. Leg presses back. If the arm is on the outside of the leg, rotate torso around spine, pressing leg back into arm. Try not to hang the head. Use your breathing. Inhale, come up. Exhale, turn your feet. Same thing, other side. So now the left knee is bending. You decide where you want the block. If you want the block, you can always keep elbow on thigh, bringing that right arm in the low back. Try not to have this back hip sticking up. I see some of them sticking up. Drop down. Straight line of energy from the heel all the way up. Don't hang your head. Torso rotates around spine. Your body is strong when it's at ease. If there's dis-ease, the risk of injury is so much greater. Lift that elbow. Come on, put some effort into it. Keep breathing. Lift your toes. Follow the rhythm of your breath. Good. Inhale, come up. Now, as you exhale, Parivrtta again means rotate. So you turn your right foot out. Your left foot's at a slight angle. Your hips point straight ahead. You bend that right knee. If you're beginning, you can put this left knee on the floor. You lean forward, bringing your left elbow to the outside of the right knee, and your palms meet in prayer. The right elbow lifts up, and you look either up to the elbow, to the side, or down to the floor. Some of you may find that you prefer to press through the heel and lift that left knee. Some of you will have the whole left foot down on the ground. Inhale, come up. Exhale, other side. So left foot points forward. If you don't want the right knee on the floor, you keep the whole foot on the floor. You bring the right hip forward, the left hip back, and you try to sink down into both feet. It's right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Palms meet in prayer. You decide where it's beneficial to have the gaze. Try to have the weight even on the foundation, which is the feet. Eyes are open. Torso's twisting around the spine. That left hip draws back. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, step back to the front of the mat, Samastiti. Prasarita Padottanasana, step out wide. The outside edges of your feet are parallel, approximately one of your leg lengths. Now, when you come into this, the position of the arms are elbows bent, as though you are holding the block between and the palms flat. Place your hands on the hips. Now, bend the knees and send the hips back, put the elbows on the thighs. If this is enough, this is truly perfect. You don't need to go any farther. Otherwise, you place the flat hands on the floor and you walk the hands back with the elbows bending. Squeeze the elbows as though you are holding a block. If you're not dizzy, drop the head and begin to lift the hips. Now, what you might find is you need to adjust your feet. So if you do need to, make sure you give yourself permission to do it. You don't want the legs locked. Big toe mound, little toe mound, center of the heel, and the toes are just lightly on the floor. They're not gripping. Now, if your head is on the floor, to challenge yourself, you move your legs closer together. Breathe. Now, straighten the arms, lift the hips, unlock your knees, place your hands on your hips, and come all the way up. If your back hurts, put your palms on your thighs and press yourself up. Lower the hands by the hips. The arms lift shoulder height as you breathe in. Hands come back to the hips, breathe out. Gather the energy in the legs, rise up your spine and look up. Then exhale, bend the knees so you're bending right at the hip creases. It is a forward fold. You can stay right here if it's enough, or you drop the glutes, drop the head, and then begin to straighten the legs. Again, I need to reposition my feet. So give yourself permission, try to keep the outside edges of the feet parallel, a retraction, so a bending of the knees, and then a straightening of the legs can take you deeper. Use your breathing. Eyes are open. Listen to the cues from your breath, from your body. Inhale, bring yourself all the way back up. Exhale, lower the arms down. Now, in this next position, you may find a strap is beneficial. It is chest expander, so if your shoulders are tight, you do want to expand and open the chest. So you bring the strap behind you. You lift the arms, lightly squeezing the shoulder blades like you're squeezing a lemon, but don't take it into a back bend. Now bend the knees. Start adjusting your foundation, your feet. Take the backs of the thighs parallel to the floor. Lift the arms. If this is enough, don't go any farther. Otherwise, you begin to straighten the legs. And again, the feet may need to go farther apart. Some of you may find that using the block as support under the head gives you added support. Use your breathing. Try to understand why you're doing what you're doing, that you're not just doing something because I'm telling you to. The key to chest expander is it is opening the chest. Great for people with breathing problems. Neck is free. Now bend the knees, torso face parallel to the floor, arms still lifting. Come all the way up and lower the arms down. Hands to hips, look up, breathe in. Breathe out, bend the knees, send the hips back. So again, stay here, elbows on thighs if that's enough. Otherwise, pointer and middle fingers under the big toes, thumbs touching. I need to bring my feet closer. Thighs drop parallel to the floor, knees towards armpits. Stay there or hang the head and begin to lift the hips. But keep those elbows bending to right angles. Try to draw up from the wrist rather than bend them. Think energetically, how are you moving your body? Remember, a retraction, a bending, and a straightening will allow you to reset and find your greatest strength. Don't confuse ease and easy. When there's ease, it makes it actually more challenging. Now bend the knees, straighten the arms, torso parallel to the floor. Hands to hips, bring yourself all the way up and step back to the front of your mat into Samastiti. The position for your arms in the next posture is palm to palm. This does not happen for everyone, so often you need to hold the elbows or go knuckle to knuckle. You take your right foot, Step it all the way out to the right. Right foot's pointing straight ahead, left foot's at a slight angle, and the feet are like you're standing on railroad tracks. You bend halfway forward, putting a micro bend in the front knee, sending the hips up and back. If this is enough, don't go any farther. If you are able to go all the way forward, then by all means go all the way forward. Some of you may find that you do want the blocks. Remember, the idea is that the hips are even. And I mean, it's not always a perfect world, but we do what our bodies allow us to do. Your neck, I see some of you jumping your chin out, let it go. Now inhale, come all the way up. Same thing, other side. That's the beauty of Ashtanga. We get to learn the differences in our bodies on any given day. So left foot's pointing straight ahead, right foot's at a slight angle, it's left hip back, right thigh forward, which might mean you need to pick your feet up and adjust them. Halfway forward. If that's enough, don't go any farther. If you can go all the way forward, the action is like downward dog. The hips move up and back. The toes rest on the floor. They don't clench the floor. This is your prep for balance. Let your head go. Keep breathing. Remember, if you fold forward and you don't feel any action in your legs anymore, it's a sign that you're not working from the foundation up. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, step back to the front of the mat and reset in Samasthiti. Now you move into full balance. So if you need a wall or a chair or something like that, use it. Use your straps if you need them. The weight goes to the left foot and you lift the right heel. If that's enough, that's perfect. If you can lift the foot, that's great too. Now it is a forward fold, so you bend from the hip crease. If you can hook the right arm under the right leg, do that. Some of you may begin to straighten the right leg. Some of you may like that left hand to slide down the left thigh. Keep your breathing. Now bring yourself all the way back to standing, and you might want to bend the right knee. The hip is ball and socket, so let the hip move in the socket, taking the leg out to the right. If it's a day where balance is stable, you could try turning your head to the left. Some of you may find that keeping those right toes on the floor or on a block is what you need. So truly do what you need. Keep breathing. There might be some of you who can straighten the leg, but remember there's a fine line between flexibility and strength, and you want both. Bring the leg back to the center. It is a forward fold, so you can bend forward and perhaps you get the leg straight. Bring yourself all the way back up to standing. Place the hands on the hips for awareness and begin to straighten that right leg. Now you may have that right leg all the way up to here and you're leaning back knowing that there is no core connection here. You are much better to have the leg lower, the hips even, and the spine straight, and you're very connected here at the core. Your mind might say that's enough, but you more than likely can retract, so bend the knee and extend it and hold it a couple more breaths. Now flex the foot, bring the leg down, and walk it out. This is where we really notice our balance and our body, how it can be so different. Weight to the right, lift the left heel. Next step, lift the foot. Bend forward, grab the back of the thigh. Keep breathing and smiling. Watch those necks, keep the neck in line with the spine. If you can straighten the leg, drop the hip, great, do it. Good, bring yourself all the way up, move the hip in the socket. Keep your breath, rise up, anybody leaning, come on, lift straight up, right from the arch of that right foot. Look to the right if you like. Think about your whole mat, everything being a mirror. Are your shoulders even? Is your spine straight? Are your hips as even as they can be? Now bring it back to the center. So hip moves in its socket, a forward fold as you exhale. Inhale, come up. And you can always hold the leg as you straighten it. The only thing stopping you or getting in your way is your mind. The rules are yours. Do what works for your body. Notice, are you working your body as effectively and efficiently as you can today? Follow your breath. Flex the foot, release it, and walk it out. Bring yourself back to the front of the mat into Samasthiti. We move through a vinyasa, which simply means connecting movement with breath. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze. We've already done this at the beginning of the class. Exhale, fold the body forward. If you can't go all the way, go to where you can go. Inhale, lift the hips, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hands down, don't drop the head, step back to plank and decide, should you have the knees down as you lower through? Put the tops of the feet on the floor, lift to upward dog as you inhale. Tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward dog. Now we don't hold this downward dog, we bring our feet back to our hands, however we can get there. Bend the knees and place the palms on the thighs. If this is enough, stay there. Back problems, tight hamstrings, knees, hips, whatever you might need to do, move your knees and feet farther apart. They should be the same distance apart. If the shoulders don't hurt, you bring the arms shoulder height, turn the pinky fingers slightly up and lift the arms. Try to get away from this rib flare where you're hanging out in the back bend. Keep a natural curve of your spine. Build strength in the body. Strengthen the body, strengthen the mind. Use your breathing. Remember, we call it a yoga practice because we do it over and over and over again, knowing that it won't be the same every time. Now exhale, fold the body all the way or partway forward. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, step back through plank, knees down, lower through chaturanga. Build strength in the wrists and the shoulders, not strain, not pain. Inhale, upward dog. We want to do this till we're 90 or 190. Downward dog. Virabhadrasana A or warrior one. Your left foot pivots to the left. Your right foot comes forward between the hands. Hands to the hips. Or you can step up to the front of your mat and just put yourself in warrior position. Front hip back, back thigh forward, 10 toes lift. So not a back bend in this particular warrior. Arms come up, but lift your arms knowing why. And sometimes we can find that engagement and that stability in our arms better by bringing the elbows and the palms parallel in this position, lifting the chest. Truly know why you're doing what you're doing. If I lift my arms all the way up, often I forget to even use them. Keep your breathing. Front hip back, back thigh forward. Now straighten the right leg and you're turning. It helps if you bring your hands to your hips, especially when you're new to the practice. As the left foot comes forward and the right foot comes in, by having your hands on your hips, it brings that awareness to, are my hips even, or is my structure, being my body, all twisted in the middle? Make sure you're not rolling to the big toe side of the back foot and no pressure in the little toe side. Neck is long. Even if you're looking up, you're creating strength in the neck, not just flinging it back, creating compression. Breathe here, breathe. Now, you open your arms parallel to the floor, but as you do that, the first thing to adjust is your feet. That left knee is bending, the hips are pointing straight ahead between the legs, and your head turns to the left. And you're breathing. That right foot can be at 90 degrees or turned slightly in, and the right leg is not locked. Groin drops, pelvic floor lifts. You're trying not to send the back hip up. Be as even as you can. The feeling is that you're pulling your legs towards each other, building that strength. Lift your 10 toes. Now straighten the left leg. Bring that foot in and turn the right out. Bend the right knee. Head turns to the right. And again, you don't want to have both hips pointing towards the right knee. Have them pointing to the wall in front of you as much as you can. Have your shoulders even. If it's better, hands on the hips. Sometimes that brings better awareness to the hips. Do that. Keep breathing. One more breath in, one more breath out. Now transition slowly. Bring the left arm up. Lift the left heel. I have to move my right foot and come into this lunge position. You can put the left knee down if you like, or you can step back to plank. Lower through chaturanga, tops of the feet on the floor, upward dog. So move the body through. Exhale, downward dog. You're coming to the seated portion of the practice now. So you can get there how you like, or bend your knees, cross your ankles, sit back and stretch your legs out. This is where you may find, if your body leans back, one of these foam blocks where you sit on it and then actually roll forward off of it to lift the hips and tilt the pelvis. You can also use blankets or whatever you need. The legs are straight, the hands are down, and your foundation has changed. It's no longer your feet, but you should use your feet as actively as you had been. Your chin drops down, your chest lifts up, and the breath is strong. The arms are active. The eyes are open. Now lift your gaze, moving into Paschimottanasana, a forward fold, so you may want to walk the glutes back. Some of you may need the knees bent a lot. You take pointer and middle finger around the big toes, touch the thumbs, and bend the knees. This might look familiar to Padangusthasana at the beginning in our standing practice. Some of you will easily be able to straighten your legs, some of us don't. But if you do have your legs straight, remember, don't strive for flexibility without the balance of strength. Now, as you inhale, lift up. Know how you're using your arms. It should be as much work as going forward. You grab the outsides of the feet, place the thumbs below the big toes. Again, start with elbows bent if that gives you more strength. You want this connection of ribs and thighs to actually fully lengthen the entire backside of your body. Straighten the legs or not, you can also use your straps at any point. But again, how you grip your feet or your strap relates to your shoulders, so do the work. Keep your breathing. Good. Inhale, come up, exhale, release. Cross your ankles, lean and spark. If it is in your practice to do a vinyasa would be to go through plank, to chaturanga, to upward dog, tuck the toes, roll back downward dog. You don't hold it, and you come back down to seated. Do the vinyasas if they benefit you, but if you're feeling those tweaks and twinges in the wrists and in the shoulders, you should probably question why you're doing them. Now, lean back, Parsvattanasana, or crab pose. So you bend the elbows, the heels are below the knees, and you lift to here without hanging the head. Keep the neck in line with the spine. Other option is heels on the floor, knees slightly bent, arms back. My elbows are slightly bent as I come up and lift my hips. I keep lifting my hips as I shift the weight forward. And again, not hanging the head. Keep the neck long. Breathe. Feet are on the floor in a perfect world. You lower down. Cross your legs the opposite way. Spark. Lift up if you can. Good. Breathing. Stretch the legs out. Bounce into the knees. Coming into Jana Shishasana A. So in the beginner class, we obviously don't get through all the postures. Jana Shishasana A, left leg straight, right foot comes in. Hips are pointing straight ahead. It's hip, knee, heel. Body comes forward. Now, if your hips are fairly open, you can move that right foot away and roll the foot sole out. If the hips are at an angle, you draw the left hip back and the body folds. You can use the strap. You can keep the knee bent. Do what gives you the deepest release. That left hip back, left toe mound forward, hips pointing straight ahead, so your foundation is stable, the weight is even on everything on the ground. The shoulders are even, and the eyes can roll to the toes without lifting and scrunching the neck. Just roll the eyeballs. When you come up, it's still left hip back, left toe mound forward, sternum lift. So lots of work, or it should be. You bring the left leg in front of the right, spark, and you switch sides. Adjust the foundation, so adjust the glutes. Right hip back, right toe mound forward. Good. Decide what you're doing with the left foot. Foot against the inner thigh or roll the foot open. Do the work through the whole body. This is a slight twist. Breath is present. Eyes are open. Keep breathing. Good. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release, right leg is straight, spark, or do your vinyasa, and we'll move to Jana Shishasana C. So left leg is straight, right knee bends, you take the right hand and draw the right toes back. You can bend the left knee and rest the left ankle on the knee and lean forward here. Full pose would be if you can get the toes tucked to the floor and roll the body forward here. You want the weight as even as you can get it on all parts of the body. So really know why you're doing what you're doing. Work those toes. Good. Lift the body up, breathe in, and spark. And do the other side. So right leg is straight, left toes draw back. Now, many people take their arm under and grab the toes. I find that that's a bit restricted for me. I can get more movement if I have the arm in front of the shin. I don't know if you can see that I'm leaning back, so I need to bend the right knee to get that lift. It is a forward fold. Maybe you can get the toes down. Do what you can do. And remember, if you do the same thing over and over again, your body and your mind get used to it and you get the same results. So try to notice your habits and try to challenge yourself. Breathing in as you come up, breathe out, release, spark, and move to Marichiasana A. The left leg is straight and the right knee bends. You're bringing the right shoulder to the inside of the right knee, and you can simply stay right here with the palms in prayer. This is a forward fold, so bend from the hip crease. Get the weight even on everything, so move that right foot out if you need to. Some of you will be able to bring the right arm around the right leg, the left hand behind the back, and clasp your hands. Some of us need to use the strap. You can put it in the right hand, swing it around, and grab it with the left. Marichiasana postures are about your hips and shoulders, trying to get the hips even and trying to get the shoulders even and folding forward. So you may need that left knee bent. The right foot might need to go at a slight angle and move out farther. You try to get the knee as close into the armpit as you can on any given day. Then bring yourself up and pause and release. So cross left in front, spark, and then switch sides. Right leg is straight, left knee bends. So left shoulder to the inside. Move that left foot out. If you need to sit up on a little blanket to get those hips lifted, do it. Palm to palm. So you press into the palms to move the shoulders and you lift the chest. Neck has its natural curve. Again, stay there, or left arm around left leg. The wrapping hand, so the left hand grabs the right, left shoulder back, right shoulder forward, folding forward. Weights as even as you can get it on everything. Right hip back, right toe mound forward, breathing. The inhale brings you up, so keep everything stable through your foundation. And exhale, release. Spark, if you want a vinyasa, by all means. Now, Marichiasana C is the twist. Left leg is straight, right knee bends. So you want your hips pointing straight ahead and as even as you can get them. It's opposite arm, so left arm to right leg. And I need to move my right foot in. This right hand can go behind your back, not to lean on. Don't take a break yet. Sit up nice and tall. So adjust your foundation, whatever's on the ground, so your spine can be up nice and tall, which might mean moving your right foot farther down your mat towards your left foot. Shoulders are as even as you can get. Neck is long. The head's the last thing to turn. Now, this right hand may go in the low back, and you feel the breath move into the back body. Head does turn. Just try to make it strong, not snake bite. Smile. I'm watching you. Good. If you're leaning back, readjust your posture. Some of you can reach under and grab the hand. Keep breathing. Your next breath in brings you back to center, where you drop the right knee, cross left in front and spark, and then switch. Right is straight, left bends. Sit up tall, so readjust your body to where you can sit up nice and tall. Right arm to the outside of the left. Left hand might be in the low back. You might get the elbow to the outside of the knee. Torso rotates around the spine. Twist, strengthen the spine, massage the internal organs. The great posture improving if you've got your shoulders even and working. Keep your breath. Don't be afraid to give yourself wiggle space when you're in the postures. Bring yourself back to the center. Drop the left knee, cross the right in front, and spark. We're moving to Navasana or boat pose. If you are sitting on a foam block now, take it out. If you do have tailbone problems, you might want to sit on a lower blanket. You bend the knees, the heels are on the floor, and the hands are at the backs of the thighs, and you sit up. This could be your Navasana pose. Some of you will be able to lift one leg and then lift the other, drop the shoulders. If you really want to challenge yourself and you have a block, put it between the knees, release the arms, and be here, and smile. If you're both sinking, lift it up. Maybe you need the heels down to lift up. Maybe you need the hands at the backs of the legs. Keep your neck long, don't thrust those chins. Your eyeballs roll to the ceiling, and know how you're using your arms. Lower down, cross the ankles, pull the legs in, lift. And we'll do it again. Keep breathing. So remember, if that boat's sinking, think, what is my foundation? Rise up from the foundation. The elbows are in close, opening the upper back. Lift the legs if you like. You can even do one and then the other. Think, if you know Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, think about them at least. Use your breath. You can also take the hands palm to palm, hooking the elbows around the backs of the thighs here, pointing the fingertips up to the ceiling. Keep your breath. Good, then release, spark. We'll do it once more. So you decide. And if it's a day where you think, you know what, I know I could straighten my legs, maybe straighten them, keep those elbows so they're opening the shoulders. Maybe you straighten them for one breath and then go back to the bent knee. Or maybe you let go of the legs, keep the arms strong. Know why you do what you do. Then spark. If any of you want to vinyasa, by all means, you can roll to a vinyasa. Now here you may find that, yes, I do need the blanket or the block again to sit up and lift the hips. So you bend the knees, put the feet on the floor, coming into butterfly position or cobbler's pose. The elbows are in close to the side body. The thumbs grab the balls of the feet and roll the feet open. The neck is long. If the elbows are in, you can always slide the elbows along the thighs, but don't let the bottom lift up. Keep that connection with the ground. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Good, then bring yourself all the way up and extend the legs out to Upavishta Konasana. Now, the tendency is to be here. Again, take the block, sit on it, lift the hips up, and tilt the pelvis forward. It makes such a difference. It will change your practice. Now, if you need to bend your knees to lean forward, do that. Keep your breath. Some of you will have your hands at the insides, and as you tip forward, you'll begin to straighten the legs, but do the work through the big toenails. Feel the arches of the feet lifting. Some of you may actually be able to hold the feet and bring the body forward, neck in line with the spine. Take one more breath in and one more breath out, and bring yourself all the way back up. Now, if you were sitting on the block, slide it out. A blanket is still fine, as long as it's not too high. And bend the knees, put the heels on the floor. Now, this is similar to Navasana. You don't want to be leaning back with the shoulders in the ears. You want to be nice and tall. You might be able to get the heels off the floor. You might be able to get the heels in line with the knees, or, you may be able to extend the legs all the way up. Don't strive for flexibility without strength. You do want the strength. Watch your chins. I'm watching you. Good. One more breath in. One more breath out. Bring the legs down. Lift and spark. Now, if you'd like, you can vinyasa onto your back, or you can simply bring yourself onto your back. Remember, do the vinyasas if they build strength. Don't do them if they just build your ego. Now, lie down on your back. Start with both knees bent. Right leg comes up in the air. You reach up and grab the right big toe with your pointer and middle finger. If that doesn't work, use the strap. If there's no back problem, straighten the left leg, left palm on left thigh or on the ground. Drop that left hip down. Tip your chin towards the chest. So rather than that right hip hanging up in the air, drop it down. Keep the arm straight rather than elbow bent. Press the right toe mound up. If there's not any neck or shoulder problems, peel the torso off the floor, continuously dropping that hip down. Use your breathing. Now the torso, the head come down. Again, knee is ball and socket, so bend the knee. And again, bring the knee towards the armpit, but keep that right hip dropping down towards the front end of your mat. If this half a happy baby is enough, stay there. Or you may be able to move the hip in the socket and take the leg out to the side. You want that connection of top and bottom half right here at the core, maintaining the natural curve of your spine, your shoulders being even. Your head can turn left or stay at the center. Now you bring that right leg back, drop the hip. Lift the torso off the floor if it's not straining your neck, and if you can keep the hip dropping down. Torso comes down, right leg lowers down. Knees bend, let the knees rock a little bit from side to side. Now straighten the left leg up in the air. Reach up and grab it. If the back is fine, straighten the right leg at the same time you drop that left hip. Remember, use the straps. If you don't have a strap, bend the knee, hold the calf. Your chin tips slightly down. Peel the torso up off the floor, dropping the hip. Right palm on right thigh, or some of you may prefer it on the ground. Where do you get your most support? Breathing, torso down. Bend the knee towards the armpit and stay there if that's enough. Or take the leg out to the side, turn the head right, or keep it center. Keep the natural curve of the spine. Remember, if this right hip is off the floor and you're hanging out there like that, that is not building strength. Use your breathing. Know why you're doing what you're doing. And just reflect that this is very similar to the standing balance. You're just reclined on your back now. Bring the leg back to the center. Drop the hip. Peel the torso up off the floor. Lower the torso down. Lower that left leg down. Bring the knees into the chest. Just rock it out. Make yourself tiny. Lower the torso down and the feet. If you have something underneath your head, slide it out as you move into the back bend. Place your palms on the floor. Draw your belly towards your spine and lift bottom, low back, mid back, upper back off the floor, coming into a hip lift. Roll your shoulders under like you're lightly squeezing a lemon and have your heels directly below your knees. Lift your sternum, center of the chest to the chin. Drop your chin to your chest. If they touch, move the chin away and lift the hips higher. Keep breathing here. Don't turn your head from side to side. And then slowly lower down upper back, mid back, low back, bottom. Pause. And then repeat that one more time if you can. Set your foundation. Lift up, creating that nice arc in the back. Natural curve of your neck, so space for 1 or 2 fingers between the floor and the neck. Heel below knees so that you're stacking the joints, building that strength. If you feel pain, adjust your foundation. Keep your breathing. Slowly lowering yourself down, upper back, mid back, low back, bottom. Pause. Bring the knees up into the chest. You can roll to the side to sit up, or you can rock up. You can slide your bottom back, adjust the glutes, sit on a block as you like. If you need to, for Paschimottanasana, a forward fold. So starting with the knees bent helps you get that rib-thigh connection. Walking the bottom back. Decide, where do you want to hold your feet, or do you even want to hold your feet, or would a strap be better? Keep your breathing, neck in line with the spine. Each breath creates a shift and a change in the body and in the state of mind. Take one more breath in and one more breath out. And bring yourself all the way back up, releasing. Now cross the ankles and spark, or if you would like, a vinyasa, so you roll to plank. Put the knees down if you like, elbows bend, lowering through. Upward dog, moving the torso through. Downward dog. Come to a seated position, and we'll do the last 3 closing poses where you sit either cross-legged, one foot in front of the other. Some of you may sit in lotus. Full practice is done in full lotus, right foot, and then left. Sit up on the blocks or blankets if you need them. The hands come behind the back. Chin drops towards the chest. You squeeze the air out of the lower abdominals and take the body forward. Now, you may find that resting your forehead on a block gives you some added support. If your head's on the ground but your bottom's in the air, remember you're not connected to your foundation, to the ground. So know why you're doing what you're doing. Your eyes are open, your breath is present. You're thinking Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. And you bring yourself back up to a seated position. The arms extend on the knees. They rest on the knees, palms turn up. Thumb and index finger touch, other 6 fingers extend. Chest lifts, chin drops, the natural curve of your spine. Your drishti or your gaze is down the tip of the nose, and your breathing. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Ujjayi breath. The mind follows the flow of the breath, and the whole practice has been like a moving meditation, hopefully. Release coming to Uplutuhi. So you can place the hands on the floor beside you, lean forward and lift up. Or if you are in full lotus, you place the hands on the floor and you lift here. Try not to hang your head. Look forward. You can look to where the floor and the baseboard meet. You can always lower down and then lift back up. Keep your breath. Release. Now you can lie yourself right down on your mat, or you can move through another vinyasa, your last one. But again, don't do it because I'm saying it. Do it because it builds strength in the body. Those tweaks or twinges in wrists and shoulders, they're warnings that, maybe leave them out. And then come down, lie yourself down, take a really big deep breath in. Tighten your body just as tight as you can. And then loudly, just exhale and release. The Ujjayi breath is surrendered and your breath comes back to its natural rhythm, its natural breath. And allow your body to release. Just let the body and the mind absorb the practice, all the asanas, the postures, and the pranayama, the breath work that you've done. Lie in gratitude to yourself and to your body. I encourage you to stay in Shavasana for a little bit longer. It's really important to replenish and nurture your body, your mind, and your spirit. Thank you so much for joining me today. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Remember the importance of drinking lots of water and the importance of signing up to our YouTube channel. Have a great day.